real cake, this section here. These are dummy tiers just because for this event we don't need to eat that much cake, right? We have cake balls here too. Okay, so I'll have my lovely husband hand out business cards later if you don't already have one. So I am going to make ganache today. And ganache is used in a truffle. Have you ever had a truffle? Raise your hand if you had a truffle. So you know the flavor then. It's a delicious, melt in your mouth chocolate. Well, it's so basic and so easy, and you will wow your friends with it. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So ganache, it's chocolate, and the chocolate has cocoa butter, sugar, and then we're going to use the heavy cream. Now I use Ganache chocolate. It is a high quality, at least 60% cacao, and this is the brand that I use right here. Of course I make lots, so it comes in big, like massive quantity bricks, but they're delicious. And they add a little vanilla to this, which I think cuts the bitterness just a little bit. So, okay. It's a semi-sweet chocolate as well. And then I also use a really high quality cocoa, because the ingredients are everything when you have a tiny little, candy. So you want to make every little, well, the one bite you're probably going to take count. So I use this cocoa here, and it's a bold 100% cacao as well. So if you have questions, you can come and write this down later if you want to make it at home. Ganache is basically melted chocolate with hot cream, and I'll show you how to do that. But let me just tell you kind of some of the things you can do with it. You can thin it out a little bit with some oil and butter, and you can frost your cakes with it. You can use it, whip it up after it's done, just whip it up like you would a frosting. Fill your cakes and then frost your cakes with it. It's amazing. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a little. It doesn't take long. I'll show you the short version, the easy make-it-home version. Normally you put this over your chocolate, your shaved chocolate, over a pot of boiling water, and then you have to be careful, oh gosh, the water can't touch the chocolate or it'll seize. I have a much easier way. So your proportions need to be right though. So you need 2 parts chocolate for semi-sweet, 2 parts chocolate to 1 part cream. So I measure everything very carefully. So I have a scale. And so what I would do is just take my knife and just shave this chocolate into small little shavings. So it's really, I don't know if you can see, very kind of in small pieces. So I've done that ahead of time. So here we have our measured out 16 ounces of chocolate, and you want to put it in a big bowl. The reason you want to put it in the big bowl is because when you put the cream on, there's not a whole lot of cream to chocolate, so you want it to cover this chocolate. So it's really quick. We just do it in the microwave. That's measured to 1 cup. So we'll just let that. What you want to do is just keep an eye on it. And when you see it just bubbling in there, you know it's hot enough. But if you can do it by eye. But if you want to be sure, get an instant read thermometer. These are very helpful in cooking. And you want it to be 200 degrees. But I wouldn't go hotter because then you'll just scald the cream and it won't taste good. So, okay. So while that's heating up, let's go to the cake balls. So I came up with this little thing just because I had extra cake, and I thought, well, you know what, let's use the extra cake and let's throw the ganache on it. So what I did was I took this really dense chocolate cake that I made that everybody loves. My girlfriends call it the truth cake, okay, because I took it to an event and there was just so much chocolate, and we all really just got high on chocolate. We just started gabbing, and everybody started telling the truth about everything. So they call it the truth cake. That's what's in this one. So anyway, so it's a dense chocolate. So you take any kind of frosting. You can take a buttercream frosting, you can take ganache, you can take a whipped ganache, just so that you have a consistency that will hold together. See, you can make a ball very easily out of it. So I have a project for all of you, and I want you to go ahead and take these little cake balls. I'll pass them out, or have somebody pass them out. And there's a little cup next to it with ganache in it. And what you're going to do is just dip that cake ball into the ganache, and then you would have a little cake ball truffle. And it's so easy to do, and your friends will just love it, because it's a child could do this. It's very easy. No, I put frosting in the cake and mix it together so that it's this consistency. So, you know, you get a little, I took about half a cup of frosting, and you just mix it in, just so that it holds together. So let me check the cream. It's been in there a minute, and it is not boiling, okay? Let's just do a quick read. And it's definitely not hot. So we're going to put it back in. Well, that was a minute, so let's go another minute and see. Now I'm just going to try and really keep an eye on it. Oh, just take the little ball out of the cup, that's a cake ball, and just dip it into that ganache. And then you would set it aside and put it in the fridge, and if you covered in ganache, you can even pour it over the top. You take that little cup and pour it over the top. It might have been set, it's fully set. It's set up, okay, then just dip the cake ball in there, because I did warm it. So, okay, you see this? It's boiling. The cream is definitely boiling. In fact, I would say it's a little too hot. Let's see what it reads. Got a good boil to it. No, it's about right. Okay, we're at 200. So, very easy now. I'm going to take it and just pour it over the top. Now, the real trick that you're going to be so tempted to do that you should not do is don't stir this up now. You just want to cover this chocolate with that cream. Just make sure that your chocolate is underneath the cream, because it's going to melt, but it's going to melt on its own time. So just, you'll be tempted to mess with it, just leave it alone. Did everybody get their cake ball? Truffle? Okay, so now I have this little cake right here, just a little leftover 6-inch cake that I had. And I have some ganache. It has a little bit of oil and butter in it, which thinned it out a little bit. So I'm going to throw this in the microwave. Just finish that cycle. All right, now keep your eye on this. It should only take like 20 seconds to warm up enough to do this. The thing is, you can ruin a ganache very easily with too much heat. And you want to take it and stir it, because the inside with a microwave gets hot. See, that's ready. That was about 20 seconds. You see how it's more liquidy? You can change the consistency of your chocolate with putting it in the fridge just for a little while, or the microwave. Yeah. Is there cake balls in there too for them? Yeah, they need cake balls with that. Okay, so it has a nice fluidity. So now you can just pour it over the top of your cake, or you can frost this with a white frosting, a buttercream frosting, and then just pour it in the center. And then you just take your spatula and kind of put it in the middle and roll it around. I'm sure you've seen these in the bakery and you've wondered how they did this. Well, it's so simple. Now, you cover this with some chocolate-covered strawberries, you know, and your friends are gonna love it. Now, I make modeling chocolate roses, so, you know, of course, I would do something a little fancier. But that's it. And how simple is that? Very easy. Whoa. Now, how to make a ganache or a truffle. Let me run through that real quick. This needs to sit for like 5 minutes before you mess with it, so I'm going to leave that until the end. But, okay, here's mine. Here. So, that's good. So you can take a melon baller, or you can take a larger scooper and just scoop up a little dab of ganache. This one's a little soft, actually. And you just roll it in this high quality cocoa. And then you can fancy it up with a cute little, you can get a little, you know, colorful for the holidays or whatever. And then, there you go, you've got a truffle. That simple. Now, if you want to mix it up and make amazing flavored ganache and truffles, super easy. You take the cream. Now, say you need a cup of cream. If you're going to add things to this, you're going to have to reduce your cream. So, what you can add to this to really change the flavors, so liqueurs. You can use liqueurs. So if you have a favorite, you know, liqueur that you love and you want it to flavor your chocolate, you just add it to the cream. If you want to use non-alcoholic flavorings, add it to the cream. You can even puree mangoes or strawberries or raspberries and just add it to the cream, heat it up, and then put it on the chocolate. Or a lot of people use cinnamon, cardamom, and chili powder is a huge one for chocolate. That's kind of a new thing. People love to put the chili powder with the chocolate. Okay, so that's that. I wouldn't probably do it this soon, but we're almost over this. So now I'm just going to stir the cream in. You don't want to whip this. You don't want to incorporate a lot of air. You just want to stir it together. And now, you know, say if you're in a hurry and you, like I am today, and I couldn't wait the whole 5 minutes to do this, then I would boil a pot of water and I would put it on top of the, you know, boiling water. And you don't want the water to touch the bottom. You don't want steam escaping. So you don't want to have that water boiling too hot, just to simmer. And you just want the steam to kind of trickle up to the bottom here. And you just want to gently warm this. This is pretty good, but I'm going to pick either some unmelted pieces that I can see. But you can see it's really fluid. Now, what you're going to do with this is cover it with saran wrap and let it sit for like 3 hours at room temperature. Don't put it in the fridge. If you put it in the fridge, it's going to get hard. So the best way to do this is just leave it. Now what you would do after you've left this and it's thickened up a little bit, in a couple of hours, You can frost your cake with it. You don't need to whip it or anything. You just take your spatula and just frost your cake with it. And then once it's all frosted, you can put it in the fridge, it'll harden up, and it'll be just like any other frosting. Perfectly smooth and delicious, by the way. If you want to fill your cake, cut your cake in half and whip it up so to get some air in it, and it's not so dense. And that's a really good filling. What I do with my cakes with the chocolate is I like to make preserves. So I do a lot of, you know, whatever's in the area, boysenberry, blackberry preserves, that kind of stuff. And I'll cut my cakes in half, and I put a layer of my preserves, and then I put the ganache. And the preserves help to keep your cake moist, and then the ganache is just that luscious yumminess in the middle. So, any questions? Did everybody get that?
Can we have some truffles?
Sure. Well, the ganache isn't ready.
Oh.
Yeah, the ganache needs to sit for a couple of hours. You can if you want to. I think I used it all though. Where's the other ganache? I was going to say I could let you do it, but nope, ground. It went out to everybody.
I have a question about the bowl that you put the cream on top of the chocolate.
Yes.
You say they couldn't stir. Okay, so then you kind of dab a little bit in it.
Yes.
And set it cool a little bit.
Yes.
How cool was it before you stirred it all up?
Well, typically you want to make sure that you've left it for like 5 minutes.
Okay.
We didn't really have 5 minutes.
Okay.
So I would leave it for 5 minutes, and then if I look at it and it looks like that chocolate is really melted, then I would go ahead and try and stir it. And as soon as you stir it, you see lumps, you know it's not ready. So just leave it alone for a little while longer, and then, you know, sometimes there's still little chunks in there. Fine, that's fine. I wouldn't throw it in the microwave. I would put it over some hot water and just gently melt that chocolate. And like I said, if you want to do something like this, just add a little butter or oil, and it just adds a very nice sheen to the chocolate. Because this one that sets will be a little bit more like cocoa color, kind of a matte finish.
Does it matter if you use metal or ceramic or plastic for your bowls?
You know, I prefer to use, that's a good question, Barbara. I prefer to use metal because I think it conducts the heat nicely to melt that chocolate better for me. So that's why I use the metal bowl. Okay, oh, I have some copies. My son did drop these off, so I'll hand these out to you. It's good information. Did you hand them out, Chris? Oh, you got them. Okay, great. So yeah, what I did here is I kind of gave you the proportions, because you can do this with white chocolate as well. White chocolate does not have cocoa in it. It doesn't have cocoa. I don't know why they call it white chocolate. But it is, in order to make it, you need to have more white chocolate than you would the regular chocolate. So 3 times to 1 cup. So 3 cups of the chocolate to 1 cup of the cream to make the white chocolate ganache, which would be really yummy flavored. Okay, we're all good? Okay.
Chef Laura, I know some people are going to ask where you can buy some of your, is there anywhere that we can buy your goodies right now?
Sure. Right now, I'm distributing my goodies at Tessa's Community Farm Kitchen. If you haven't been there, it's really an amazing place. She has a 6 days a week she's open, and she has a farmer's market there every day. Plus, it's a huge building inside where you can buy gifts. There's also a community kitchen and dining area, and it's going to be an event center. And they do breakfast and lunch every day, and then they have a nice pastry case, and that's where I keep my things. So please come out any day of the week.
Great, and I wanted to, Barbara just happens to be here watching the cooking demo, so I would like to invite her up and have her tell you about her new kitchen out off of Balfour and Bixler Road. So Barbara, come on in. Yeah, and our next chef, Brittany, is actually her chef at her kitchen. So I'll give Barbara the floor and she can tell you a little bit about her new adventure.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm, can you hear me? Yeah. I'm Barbara France, the owner of Tess's Community Farm Kitchen. Tess was my mom's name. Originally, we were going to have Tess's Tea House and Gardens, which sounded a lot better than Barbara's Tea House and Gardens. And so, and the county got involved and farming got involved, and now we have a 6-day-a-week organic produce farm market, and we have a kitchen, a beautiful kitchen. And in that kitchen, we have breakfast and lunch from 6 a.m. to 2 on weekdays and from 11 to 2 on weekends. I have a booth over in the back by the Brentwood Farmers Market area, and that Brentwood Farmers Market area has all the fresh produce from local farmers in the area. I'm very, very thrilled to be able to support Laura and Brittany in our activities there. The whole point to Tess's is to have a community, is to have a place where you can sit down, look across the table at somebody you may not know, start a conversation, and feel a connection for this lovely community we live in. I'm originally from Los Angeles, and I can tell you we don't have anything like that down there. And so this is a remarkable area. We have a microclimate here of incredible produce. Our corn is known all over the United States. And so, so it's just an amazing place to be here. And I had a dream several years ago that I needed to build this place. And I kept trying to get out of it, and I kept getting dragged back into it. And now the building is built, and all the paint, I was telling people, my website and my building opened and my website went live on the same day. I felt like I had twins and brought them home from the hospital and didn't know what to do with them. And all the pain I went through until it finally got open. We had our grand opening, and then the county shut us down for more inspections for 2 weeks. But we're now open 6 days a week, every day except Tuesday. And one of the things I love about all of this is that these incredible chefs, Minda did our dinner in the orchard 4 years ago. We're up to year 6 now this year. And we had just coming up with these incredible menu items and recipes and things. And Laura showed up with baking, and we didn't have a baker in our facility. And for stuffs, just amazing. I have to work really hard not to sneak things out of the deli counter. And now Brittany, who we're going to introduce. Brittany is our head chef at Tess's. She's in charge of all the other chefs we have visiting. We have visiting chefs and guest chefs. And we've only been open 3 weeks, so a lot of stuff is yet to come. But I'm really, really grateful for her to be here because she has magical food. And people come in, and what's the best sign? People come back. And people came up to me and just volunteered that her turkey sandwich is the best they've ever had for lunch. So I'm really glad to introduce Brittany Smith. And she also has her own company called Seasoned Chefs. So it's Seasoned Chefs that you're getting the benefit of for Tess's Community Farm Kitchen. Are you ready? Oh, we're not ready for her yet. Sorry.
The next demo is at 3 with Brittany from Tess's Community Farm Kitchen. So you can stay here or come